Hey folks, this is Kelani. It looks like we might end up clashing across the lands of Azeroth a little earlier than we ever hoped for. If you haven't heard the news through the grapevine, or if you haven't seen the front of the BNet launcher, we now have a release date for World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. Launch is scheduled for August 14th, which is a little earlier than the widely speculated September launch, which I'm super excited about. That puts the next World of Warcraft expansion at just over 4 months away, which definitely doesn't seem like a lot of time for the dev team to go from alpha all the way to a finished, ready to launch product. There's a few other pieces of information floating around with this announcement, such as the Collector's Edition rewards, the Prepatch Events, and the Allied Race release schedule, so let's jump right in. Now that we have a release date for Battle for Azeroth, we can compare Legion to our ever-expanding list of previous expansions. We were playing Warlords of Draenor for 656 days before Legion released, which ends up at just over 1 year and 9 months, and we'll have been playing Legion for 714 days when Battle for Azeroth launches, or just over 1 year and 11 months, just shy of 2 years playing Legion, which might seem like a long time after the dev team went on and on about yearly expansion releases, but I think 2 years is actually a really nice sweet spot, and just think of how much content was jam-packed into those 2 years. We're only going to have Legion for about 2 months longer than we had Warlords of Draenor for, but the amount of content we had during that time is day and night. It looks like they finally got into their groove and have actually managed to break the cycle when it comes to end of expansion content droughts. The last tier of Mists of Pandaria, the Siege of Orgrimmar, lasted for a whopping 14 months. The last raid tier of Warlords of Draenor was Hellfire Citadel, that also clocked in at 14 months. The last raid in Legion is Antorus the Burning Throne, and providing Battle for Azeroth goes live on the 14th of August, it will have a total lifespan of under 9 months. That's a huge difference when it comes to just waiting while twiddling your thumbs, hoping for some new content. It's closer to a normal raid tier length, and if they can keep this going forward while providing us with exciting and engaging content in future expansions, I think the World of Warcraft will only continue to grow. As if that wasn't awesome enough, we'll also get the pre-patch events in the weeks leading up to August 14th. During those events, we'll learn how the tension between the Horde and Alliance finally escalates into all-out war, starting with a few skirmishes in Darkshore. As the Horde moves to the north of Kalimdor, the Alliance try to push back, but something somewhere leads to the World Tree Teldrassil being burnt to the ground, which will apparently happen in a beautiful cinematic, so look forward to that. We'll finally have our explanation for who is responsible, why they decided to torch it in the first place, and how they actually managed to do it. We'll have some outdoor content in Darkshore which leads up to the burning of Teldrassil, probably some new world quests and other repeatable content to progress the story forward, and then after that chapter is complete and the air is filled with the ashes of a world tree, the Alliance will march on the Undercity for the Battle of Lordaeron, which we'll also get to take part in. That's probably going to be told in a few scenarios rather than in a bunch of world quests, but either way the Horde will get to defend the city while the Alliance can join the assault. We know where these battles lead, but actually being able to be a part of the storytelling could be really fun. This could be one of the best pre-patch events yet. On a different note, if you're someone who loves collecting things in real life as well as in-game, the Collector's Edition of Battle for Azeroth comes with some cool goodies you might be interested in. Perhaps the most interesting among these rewards is the double-sided Mark of Allegiance, which has an Alliance emblem on one side and a Horde emblem on the other. Apparently it's pretty hefty and not all that small, so you can proudly present for your chosen faction or flip it around now and then. There's also 2 limited edition hardback novellas which tell the story of the burning of Teldrassil, one from the Alliance's point of view and the other from the Horde's point of view. Both of these novellas will be chock-a-block with exclusive artwork, so definitely something to look forward to if you love that kind of thing. There's a digital soundtrack for the Battle for Azeroth, and then everything that's also included in the digital deluxe edition. There doesn't seem to be the usual mousepad or original art book that typically comes with the collector's editions, so that might disappoint quite a few players, and that's it for the Collector's Edition rewards. If you're curious about when we'll get to play the Zandalari trolls, maghar orcs, dark iron dwarves, and tiran humans, you might not like the answer too much. We're not going to be able to play any of them at launch, and 2 of them will actually only become available later on as the expansion unfolds. The dark iron dwarves and the maghar orcs will become available in patch 8.0 through the war campaign, so it sounds like we'll have to play through a good chunk of the expansion's initial storyline before being able to create those 2 allied races, and then the Zandalari trolls and the tiran humans are going to take quite a bit longer until we can win them over to our side enough to be able to actually create them and play them ourselves. So more to look forward to after the expansion launches, but disappointing for those who wanted to jump straight in as one of the newer races. If you're worried about Battle for Azeroth still being in alpha, it looks like the dev team is waiting until the game is ready for a good polishing before calling it a beta. So they'll add in all of the new systems and give them a thorough testing in alpha until the game is more or less complete and ready to go, then into the beta phase where they'll go through with a fine comb and a good dollop of wax to make sure everything flows properly, the minor bugs are ironed out, and the expansion has that true Blizzard stamp of approval. Just because we're still in alpha doesn't mean we won't make the deadline that looms in front of us. And that's it for the majority of news that came along with the Battle for Azeroth release date. So the end of Legion is in sight, just a few more months to go, and I hope progress with the alpha goes super smoothly so we don't have too many hiccups along the way. Remember to get all your Mage Tower appearances that you want, as well as any of the other awards which will be going away with the end of Legion. I'd like to say a big thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. You guys are amazing and I really appreciate your support, so thank you. If you want to hop on that train, you can find a link in the description below. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.